Brad Smith.
Here.
Alicia.
Here.
Shonda.
Here.
Mr. Tibbs. Here. Brad Simmons. Here.
I'm here and Steve's here.
Well, oh, that's right.
We're hiding behind that monitor.
We're gonna have the invocation with Alicia and the pledge. Everybody rise, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this day that you've given us. Lord, I just thank you for the opportunity to be up here with these people and to make the best for our community. Lord, we give you all the praise and the glory. Amen.
Amen.
I
pledge
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In addition to the allegiance
I
on the
like that
agenda.
fancy.
No, but I do have a correction.
All right, sir.
On February 4th, regular meeting minutes, on page 3, there's a discussion there about the sewer plant, and there's a reference to a 2,500 horsepower pump. That's a 25 horsepower pump, not 2,500. So, if we would make that correction.
All right. Anything else? I entertain a motion to add that to the minutes.
Motion. I'll second.
A motion by Brad, second by Rashonda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 4 is discuss and approve the following meeting minutes, December 16th, 2024.
I make a motion to approve the minutes December the 16th. Second.
All those in favor?
Motion to approve February 4th, regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Brad, second by Rashonda. Favor?
Aye.
Okay, those minutes are approved. Item number 5 is ratify mayoral proclamation honoring Leonard Nichols on his 100th birthday.
Motion to approve. Go ahead. To read it.
I'll,
Okay.
City Moorhaven mayoral proclamation honoring Leonard Nichols on his 100th birthday. Whereas Leonard Nichols is celebrating his 100th birthday this year in the city of Moorhaven. And whereas the city of Moorhaven recognizes Leonard Nichols' longevity of life and his lifelong commitment to family. And whereas Leonard Nichols served his country during World War II as a member of the United States Navy, and whereas in Leonard Nichols' longevity of spanning a century of experience and growth, I, Wayne Browning, Mayor, on his 100th birthday. Now here, therefore, be it resolved, I, Wayne Browning, Mayor of the City of Moorhaven, on behalf of the people of the City of Moorhaven, do hereby extend to Leonard Nichols my sincere congratulations on achieving this milestone in his life. And further, I wish him all the best and continued health and happiness in the years to come.
I'll second. You motion.
Motion by Alicia, second by Rashonda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Did we approve the February 4th? minutes?
Item number 6, city manager.
Okay, on February 14th, Friday, we had the folks in the Florida Consultants, which is the company that's doing the citywide GIS mapping system. They were out, we got, logged in, all this stuff, the system set up, so they're out there now starting to get that project going. So obviously they're going to focus on water lines first, because we have that lead line water line identification project that's required by EPA to be done. So that's they're going to, but otherwise they're everything that A. Smith had for his as-built plans, that they have, throughout the years, that's all been scanned into their system. And so that's kind of the beginning point. They're gonna go in and get that, identified with what areas they're at and all that, and then they'll start, going out and get into the unknowns. We'll start working on the unknowns. So that project is, hopefully will be, we're going pretty good. This company has been doing several of these, throughout the area around here, and they said they didn't see the bit of all references that we've had. They've done a really good job, so that, moves along, so. The, like I said, as we mentioned a couple times, the Granger Group, did purchase that 8.6 acre park in the marina. They're still working on conceptual site plans, conceptual design kind of thing. So we did meet with them once, the city attorney and I, along with our planner and their planner, just to discuss what the zoning and land uses are in that area over there, so they know what they have to work under. So we're still waiting on them to come up with,
I think I read something where at the end of the month or the beginning of March, they're gonna have something.
that's what we hope to, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to on Friday meet with them
Again, but
on site, but I'm not 100%. We're gonna check on that tomorrow. So
they're still,
that'll
they've had
drive
to
here for
change.
nothing
I've
again.
through discussions with them, they've changed their concept, a couple times already because, they, again, are trying to figure out what's the best that they can work in there. So they're working on it, but like I said,
They'll change their mind.
they don't change their mind, but yeah, they're obviously,
Well, they're working on it. So we've already had a few sets of revisions and surveys and such. So looks like it's moving forward.
Good.
The zoning's already in place. So
we did hear today, we had once monthly, the county host a local, meeting on broadband and technology development. We, at the meeting today, we did hear the first time Xfinity showed up, in several months, it showed up to say that the project that they had to put broadband on some of their on our poles that's in their area. Like they have access to our telephone poles because there's an old pole attachment agreement that's been passed down about 10 times through different companies, but they've assumed that contract, so they do have access to our poles. So that they did say that they're going to start, on that project, and they estimated they'd be completed by the end of the year. But like I said, this is the first time they attended one of those meetings in probably about 4 or 5 months. So but that we before we did, when the Conexon came out, their proposal on doing broadband, they initially came out with a proposal for 100% underground, and we asked them to take it back and do aerial. So and they have come back with a preliminary plan. We've asked them again to revise it, but that plan is 90% aerial on the poles and 10% underground. But like I said, there's still a few things that they have to work on. So I would hope that maybe by the middle of next week or so, we could probably try to schedule maybe a workshop or once everybody's back, a workshop or a meeting to discuss that option, that come forward and see what what the council wants to do with it. Like I said, it does, like I said, the advantage of going with them we would end up, they would construct a fiber optic system for the city, and we would own it as a utility, and then lease it back to them to operate it as a thing. So but hopefully we'll have some better numbers and some better plans. Next, like I said, to try to schedule something next week. I can get it back for the review.
Thank you, Larry. That's good.
And then finally, the last time, I think it was brought to our attention on the mosquito control district. At one point in time, they had their meetings over at the warehouse. Apparently, at some point in time, then they had issue with, someone had an ADA issue that could not attend meetings over there, so they moved them over here. There's, the elected officials on the mosquito control district has changed, so I don't know if we want to suggest that they, move their meetings back over there. They still have a function in here because, Melissa does all the books and everything for the mosquito control district, but that was just brought to our attention, so I just wanted to mention that. That's council's desire or, I think that's it. Unless somebody's has.
Anybody have anything for Larry? Thank you. Mr. Simmons?
We don't have a whole lot. Everything's kind of running as normal. It's been straight Chalaneco, trimming trees, putting out mulch, doing different things out the ground, along the avenue gate, parades and stuff.
Really good.
Gonna get all that done, because next week will be a little bit hectic with Chalaneco and meter reading and everything's gonna be at one time. And kind of a little update on the sewer plant. We've got what we can get working is working. Everything, the water's working like it should. So we got an inspection next Thursday, I believe it is. Can patch and fix and do what we've bought so far. We're in a lot better shape than we were.
Good, right?
Wow, imagine that.
Greg A. Smith went out and did the walkthrough with us. And really, now a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, but it's not something to be fixed. It's going to take months to the contractors and everything like that. Exactly. 100% working shape, that for sure.
What day is that?
Very good.
Thank you, Brad.
Second Tuesday every week.
Sorry about that, Mr. Attorney.
I have a question for Brad.
You got anything for?
I do. The road behind the angler,
We put about a dump truck load of dirt on it.
when,
That one after the meeting, it was last Wednesday before. It looked pretty good and it's already back like it was and it
it's
rained.
bad, yeah.
It washed all that in their parking lot. I worked on it and Bud worked on it. We'll go back through and patch it, but there's some,
So what can we do to fix that? Besides patching, because when the rain comes, it just
there's a lot
wipes it
of,
right back.
there's sewer main in there now, there's some water mains in there. You gotta be real careful. I can't just turn somebody loose in there. Doesn't know where they're at. A lot of stuff.
That road should still be on the punch list for the finishing for the Sportsman project, isn't it, Larry? I think that road was still on the punch list to,
Sewer main.
yes.
Yeah.
That they're supposed to come back in and fix that road.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe one day. I'm not sure when, but it should be on the punch list because I've asked about that before.
yeah, and they are not done yet, but they're, like I said, they're getting close. But the last thing was trying to get the transformer set over there, but
Mhm.
yeah, we'll add the punch list, yeah.
Was Go Underground back over here this week, last week?
Yeah, they were here, I think Friday, early Friday. They were doing a walkthrough and all kinds of stuff out there. I seen they painted some stuff on asphalt over there too. So they know where they're working on their punch list now, I believe.
Thank you, Brad. Mr. Attorney.
The only thing I have is follow up on code enforcement. The county did approve utilizing the same method through the contract for the administrative law judge to do Zoom code enforcement. So when I had talked to Richard Pringle about it prior to the county meeting, because they're under the impression that the judge was going to come live and it was going to cost more money, and I'm like, no, I already have it set up to do by Zoom, but we would prefer to use the courtroom because I'm sure we can find a mutual time to schedule with the judge's calendar on a, Wednesday afternoon or whatever. We'll figure out exactly when would be the best time to have our routine meetings. But we'll be able to do it out of the courthouse where they have better Zoom set up in the courtroom. And logistically, that should work better, keep a lot of pressure off Ashley, because I'm continually asking her about the Zoom working. Is Zoom working? So, I won't have to bug her on that. So it looks like we'll get that underway here pretty quickly. So I was going to have Colleen come to Hendry County to observe. They did wind up canceling in Hendry County their code enforcement last week. That's why I didn't follow up with her, but I got new dates today of April the 10th. So I'll get with her as far as having her attend over in the Hendry County side so she could see how they present to a magistrate. Go from there. That's it.
Anybody have anything for Steve? Thank you, Steve. The city clerk.
I only have one thing. Last year, when we were preparing to start our budget, the Glades Education Foundation came to us asking for a donation. I believe at that time we talked about possibly doing around 500. That's pretty much all we really would have in the budget to do. So if that's something that y'all wanted to do, then we could move forward with that. I do have a letter from them.
Glades Education Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the same as Miss Brown. Is Miss?
That's Miss Brown.
She did, is
It
it?
is.
Mhm.
Okay,
Miss Brown and Miss Pro,
yes,
Miss Presley.
yes, okay. And that's for, they do the scholarships, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, for careers,
Yes.
career source or something like that.
So I would make the motion to approve 500 donation to the Education Foundation.
I'll second.
Okay, Miss Budget.
Mhm.
Motion by Alicia. Second by Rashonda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. I know you're trying to trick me with all this statements here. Huh? Approval of the bills in the amount of $168,168.90.
And the notations on there, a lot of those, like, about 75,000 of that, related to ARPA projects that have been funded. That we're doing a project about 14,000 for the school that will be reversed. There's about $10,000 charge for landfill tickets, which is things that we typically budget anyway. And then there's about
I broke them apart at the bottom in red
yeah,
too.
it's already, but there's a couple other things, but so good, probably about 117,000 of that is things that have already been budgeted or paid out another source. So, I mean, so that is, that's sticker shock there.
Thank you, Larry. I read over it. Thank you very much.
What is a willing fee? I'm new to this, so I'm just
For
asking.
electric, when to bring the electric in, that's called wheeling it. We have to pay a charge to Blades Electric to bring the power in.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
purchase power from FPL,
Right.
and then we pay a wheeling fee from FPL to bring it into a point out here, and then we
Please.
pay another wheeling fee from Glades to bring it into here.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Motion, pay the bills.
Had a motion by Alicia and a second by Brad. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Citizens' comments, general concerns, speaker limited, 3 minutes. Comments and general concerns.
Want to speak? Is that me?
Yes, ma'am, please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Vivian Miller. I live 835 Yalpa Way here in Michigan. We have, well, first of all, I'm thrilled that y'all are doing that for Mr. Nichols, but we have a resident in our park that will be 103. And when he became 100, I talked to Jake about the city doing something, and he said you couldn't do it. So can we do that? for Chuck.
Give us his birthday.
I'll get you all that information. Okay, I'm here tonight because we have a resident in our park. His name is Dennis Wallace. He lives at 853 Yacht Club Way. For the last 2 years, at least 2 years, maybe longer, he has thrown water bottles into our flower bed. We have him on video. We have we have 2 black garbage bags full of water bottles that they told us to collect. And we also have 2 5-gallon buckets of water bottles. He does it every day, and he goes in front of our camera and grabs himself and says all kinds of vile things, and then goes on his walk, and he comes back and he throws nuts in the flower bed.
Have you spoke with the sheriff's office?
We've had the sheriff out, filled out forms, and nothing is being done. So when we got back last year, they had a new garbage can. And with that new garbage can was also a paper. And at the bottom of the first page, it says, no persons shall throw, place, or deposit or cause to be thrown, placed, or deposited any garbage, trash, or solid waste of any kind into or on any of the public streets, any of the roads, highways, bridges, lands, parks, or upon the premises of any other person within the incorporated area of the city. Any violation of this section shall constitute a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree, punishable by law in accordance with Chapter 772 Florida statutes. In addition to the foregoing, any violation of the provisions set forth in this ordinance, the city may, okay, hold on, I have to get to another page, institute a code enforcement action against the owner of any real property found to be in violation. So I'm coming to the city and saying, what can we do? What can the city do? Can they do something with a code violation? We are getting absolutely nowhere with this man.
We can't really respond as a city because that'd be an enforcement mechanism, either criminally, if they do prosecute, or if, let's say, there's a code enforcement citation that's issued by our code enforcement officer, it'll then go to the special magistrate that I was just talking about. So this body does not enter into that realm, so to speak. We don't cross over into the code enforcement arena. So,
Well, who does?
but you can make a complaint to the code enforcement officer, and then she'll follow up. And if there are violations, she'll issue a citation, and it'll go through that
Because
process.
he's on the street.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you make a complaint to the code enforcement and there's a violation, she'll cite the person, and then I'll go through that mechanism for code enforcement. But if it's also a criminal law and there's prosecution of that, that's separate. So.
I will have her come see you tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening. I'm Schmilson Saros. I live at 599 Avenue End, Avenue. Yeah. Sorry. So the trash deal. I know it's a learning process for everybody, I think. I called for extra trash last week and they came and they took the trash. I appreciate it, but they also took a $80 or $90 trash can too and just dumped it in there. So I called today for extra trash and they asked, and I said, well, I said, last week you picked it up and you took the trash can and please don't take my trash can again. Well, if you don't specify, you're gonna just throw the trash can with the trash in the trash as well. So my concern was, why wouldn't it be a default to just throw the trash that's in the trash can away? And if you want your trash thrown away, maybe just ask for that suggestion, you know? And then there's times too where you call for extra trash pickup and it's a week later, or sometimes a couple days, sometimes they get it that day. Sometimes it is a week later, you're calling for the same trash to be picked up over and over again. And I mean, you got trash going all over town. I don't think that's what we want in town either. So back to the regards of throwing the trash can and away with the trash. I said, what do people do? Just, if you're gonna throw every trash can we put out there, you're gonna put the extra trash in the asphalt or on the side of the road where cats and dogs can get to it. Now it's a whole mess, you know?
So an extra truck came up and took your trash can.
Whoever came to take the trash away, the extra trash, took the trash can with them.
And this was the one we gave to you?
No.
This is one that he had. I think the problem is that a lot of people have been calling for us to pick up their old garbage cans.
Yes.
And he shouldn't have assumed that you didn't want your garbage can, but with the new system and how it's been going, everybody's been trashing their old cans. So I think it really was a misunderstanding. But I definitely think that we should.
Nobody was notified. I wasn't aware that I had to ask for my trash can not to be thrown away.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people, she's right, a lot of people didn't know what to do with their old can.
And then they were calling us
They were-
saying,
yeah,
can y'all take the old
suggesting.
can? We don't need it
So
anymore.
what are people doing with the extra trash they have? They're sitting it on the road?
Well, these were people that probably didn't have extra trash. You
But
have
yes,
extra
to
trash
answer-
besides what was in the can?
Yes, I've got a 5-family home, you know,
To answer
Good.
your question on that, yes, they are just putting out bags and they tell us they have like 2 bags or 3 bags or whatever the case may be. And then we just note that on the work order so that they know
so
what
it's not
exactly.
picked up a week later and you got dogs and cats out there. getting
I mean,
trash.
there is an option if you have extra trash like that all the time, we can provide you another can for another service fee.
Yeah, but
per month.
Sometimes it's not every Tuesday or Friday that you need picked up, so you're getting charged, what, another $30 a pickup?
It's just, if you were to go with that other service, it'd be $30 extra for the month, the
So
$29.93.
I'll probably accumulate another $15 asking for another trash pickup.
I was just giving you the
Yes, ma'am,
option.
I get it, I understand, but I'm also with everything going up, I'm trying to save money on my end as well too. So, but that was my only concern, to maybe send out a notice before a default on people's trash, $80, $90 trash cans are taken away.
Maybe they
That's a
trash.
separate truck, does the extra.
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah, yes, sir, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, used to I think somebody was ahead of the trash can people that would notify or write down who had extra trash or whatever. I think that's how y'all charged.
Yeah, first week or two.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Just
Yeah.
Get everybody in the rhythm of doing it.
But before the new trash can, right, somebody was doing that. I don't know if it's a good suggestion, if maybe just if you see trash on there, just pick it up and charge people for it.
That was our problem. That's why we put the ordinance in place to begin with, because then you would call and say, it wasn't my pile, it was my neighbor's pile. So the whole thing.
Oh, I got
So
you.
that's why we put that into play to begin with. So people, you would have to call and say, this is my
So
trash.
that's more understanding. We
So-
explain that to people. I get it. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Mayor and council give reports. Brad, you got anything?
No, sir, I'm good. Okay. Oh, I did have some, I'm sorry.
I did that every week.
The code book deal that I asked you about in the regulations, do
Mhm.
you happen to have?
I've been head deep in the audit.
Anybody else that might?
Yeah, Vicky can definitely get you that. She will be out tomorrow because she had an incident today. She won't be here.
Okay.
But
You said
hopefully
that
Thursday.
The
she'll be here.
regulations, you just print them up or?
That's the personnel policy. Now, the code book, remember he said you'd be easier to get it online
Okay,
because all of our books that we have, because nobody ever turns them back in when they leave.
Mhm.
The ones that are sitting in our
They're not
vault
updated.
are outdated.
okay.
So it
So
would take
online
some
has
time
the
to
most
update.
Updated.
Yes.
Okay.
And even those there's somewhat delay between you pass and then it gets posted, but
Mhm.
like I said, the ones in the vault, they're probably years old.
Okay. Wouldn't be worth getting those.
Yeah. we're
Okay,
kind of trying to change to mostly electronic.
Yeah, I understand that.
Alicia?
I just had with the vote fees. Shouldn't we have read that?
Or not, the
Because-
second meeting.
It has to
because the
publish
way
a
that it
certain
fell.
amount of time
Okay.
before the meeting, and we didn't have enough
Enough time between the
before
two
this
meetings.
meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
We didn't have enough.
It'll publish.
It has,
Read it once, didn't
we
Yeah,
already
we
read it
read it
once,
once.
but for the second and final reading, we have to publish at least 10 days before the meeting.
Okay,
And when the paper comes out once a week and you have a deadline
right.
for that, you have to,
Okay, I figured it was something with the window.
it's a pain with the once a week.
I had to have it
publication.
to him by 12 o'clock the day after the last meeting.
Right,
And
yeah.
I didn't have all the final edits
No,
done.
I just wanna make sure.
And then I butchered it up and she had to fix it.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's the truth.
I warned ahead of time. I don't, if you ask me to do the drafting out of the box, you don't know what you're gonna get. I'm better editing.
Okay, Steve.
That's all I had.
No, I don't have anything.
Discuss financial statements if needed.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Alicia. Second, Brad, second.
Good deal.
All those in favor?
Aye.